Hello, welcome back. I wanted to focus this video on modules, and there were a few things I wanted to get back to. I made a mistake on the home video. There was one more thing to do to activate the home page, and I didn't catch it until after the next day. So I wanted to go over that, and also I wanted to go over a quick assignment, how to add an assignment fairly quickly. Because you need to be able to add assignments to do modules. So I wanted to hit that real quick before I get into modules. So if I come down here to my test course, and I go into choose a home page. Now I'm on my home page here. I'm not in pages. I'm not, oops, did not want to do that. I'm not in pages. I'm in my first tab here, home. And I choose the home page. And I forgot about this because I guess I always have it on. So I think that's why I forgot about it. You can choose any of these tabs to go to as a home page, but you need to do pages if you're creating your own home page. You can change it by clicking the hyperlink here. You can but you should already have it set up. So if you already have it set up, just click on pages here and save it, and then it will reload to that. So sorry about that. I just always have it on, so that it never occurred to me. And then for assignments, just to add a quick assignment so that in case you haven't done this before, it's something that you can do to get going in modules. So if I click on add assignment, and I'm in my assignments tab, hit add assignment, I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to put test assignment worksheet. I'm going to add a worksheet to this. And then on here, I'd write out the instructions for the assignment. For right now, I'm just going to do just a quick thing, complete. Of course, if I could spell. Complete worksheet. I can put a date in here, but it's probably not a good idea. It's better to put a due date in the assignment. Complete worksheet and turn into Canvas. And then you want to add the worksheet. Wherever your cursor is where it's going to add the worksheet. I'm going to go to my add buttons right here. I want to add a page, and I want to add a course document. And then I want to add one of my labs. So instead of scrolling through it, I'm going to search for one of my labs. I'm going to add lab 1. And that'll be a hyperlink to my worksheet. So, and with this, you can also add a worksheet from outside of Canvas. And by doing this, it'll add it to your files in Canvas, so you don't have to pull it in again. My first couple of years using this, I kept pulling in worksheets every year, and I found out I had 5 to 10 works of the same worksheets in my files. So once you upload it, if you upload it from your computer, it's in there. You can just go to course, or you can just do what I did and just keep uploading them. Either one's fine. And then you want to give it some points. Submission type. You can submit through paper, no submission, online. I like to do online. Then I like to do a file upload. But they could do a text entry if you wanted, media recording. They could record something. I like to do a file upload. And because I teach drafting, I do like to restrict my types of files. I like to do PDF or DWG, depending on what kind of assignment it is. This one would be for AutoCAD. But you don't have to do that. You can leave that off. I like to allow unlimited temps. The computer will tell you whether something's in or not, if it was late or not. I do like to put in a limited because the student will turn something in and they'll think they made a mistake. They wanted to return it in instead of me having to turn it back on. I just leave it as unlimited, and it gives me all of the students' attempts to turn something in, and I just keep the most current one. I just look at the most current one. You can also do a plagiarism review. This is really nice, especially if they're doing a paper. It'll tell you if the paper was copied from the web, or if it was not. It'll do a red, yellow, and green. Red was it was heavily copied. Yellow means some of it was copied, and green is it was just fine. And I like to keep them limited on so that like students can see it. Like it'll show reports immediately to the student. And if they see that it's red, they'll try to redo it, turn it back in. So, but this is not a paper, so I'm going to turn that off. And then if you're linked into PowerSchool, you can leave that on. And you can give it a due date. I like to do due dates. If you do PowerSchool, you have to have a due date. And when I was trying this earlier, it wouldn't let me put a due date in because I'm in a test class that I have not activated yet, so it's not going to let me put a due date in here. So just quickly, very quickly, that's what it is, how to create an assignment, save and publish. It really wants me to put in a due date. Oh, it's because I got PowerSchool on. Let me turn off PowerSchool. There we go. Save and publish. Okay. And there's my assignment. All right. Now let's get to modules. All right. Just a quickly here. Canvas modules are used to organize course content and provide a structured learning path. So these can give you kind of like a structured path for a student to follow. I know I like to put in a resources module. I like to put in resources. You can turn it on, you can turn it off, but it gives students like places where they can get the software. They get a worksheet that shows shortcuts for my AutoCAD. They get basic rules for dimensioning, resources to find more information, and I give them my template that they have to create later, but I give them one that they can use. So I like to add a resources, and then they can start with, and I did that earlier. Do not want that. Delete. Okay. And then I usually go into module 1, module 2. It's typically my weeks that I'll do, maybe 1 or 2 weeks with it, but mine go in order. You can add those. And modules allow you to group content such as assignments, quizzes, files, and pages. I do group mine into subjects. So like I got intro, scales, and sketching, letters and CAD careers, scales, design process, coordinate snaps, text, polylines, and mine is constantly changing. So I just noticed my module 3, module 1 look fairly similar. I'm constantly just changing it around and working on it, and you can do that also. So, benefits to using modules: provides a clear course structure, helps students navigate the course easily, allows the sequential learning by setting prerequisites. So you can set these up to require a student to pass the first module before they can go on to the second module. So that's something you can do. So with this, you want to make sure you're in Modules tab on the side here. All right. And then you want to click the plus module button. You can name it. I'm going to call this my test because this is for this video. I'm going to put test week 1, and I can lock it to a certain date. I can have it locked till a certain day if I want to do this weekly. I can do that, and it won't open it up until then. Or I can do it like a prerequisite where they have to get into, say, finish module 2 first before they can get into this. I can do that also. I'm going to take those off because I do not want to add those right now. I'll hit add module. Now here it says that it created it successfully, but where did it go? It will take it to the bottom. And if you don't want it on the bottom, I don't want it on the bottom, I want to bring it back up to the top. So I'm going to maybe, come on, what's going on? So if it gets buggy, reload the page. Should solve it. Why is this doing this? There we go. Hit move module, and I can move it to the very top. I can move it after something, before something. I'm going to move it after my resources because I want my resources to stay on the top. And then that'll lay it right in there. So, all right. Let's see. If you want to add stuff to this module, you want to hit the plus button. Here you can look at assignments that you've got, and this will look just like your assignments page. You can add in the ones that you want. I need to kind of look for them. Alright, let's see here. I was hoping to find the one I just made, but I forgot where I put it. And I've got so much here. Oh, there we are. Test assignment. So I'm going to hit add, and it adds it in. I want to do a couple more. I'm just going to throw some on here, hit template. Lab 5. All right. And there that is. And when you add some stuff, it doesn't hurt to reload the page because it does get kind of buggy a little bit if you don't do that. So, and on here it shows what's published, what's not. Because this assignment is published does not mean that the module's published. This happens to me a lot. I'll turn on an assignment and I won't look at my module. It's not something I always do for some reason. It just always gets me. Students will tell me it's not activated. They can't find it. They can't see it. It's because I always forget to turn on the module. And when you hit publish for the module, you can do all items or just the module. If I just do the module, it'll just do that and whatever's already on. So, which is what I usually like to do, because I usually have a lot in mine, because I put in extra lessons for mine if I need to fill in the time. So just something that I do. All right. And on here we've got this one, this test worksheet, and we can turn on the rest of our assignments. And if you like, you can indent these if you want them to do one first. Let's say that you've got a unit where you want this to go in kind of an order. You can indent these so the students will know to go this first, then this, then this. But you don't have to do it like that. You can leave it just like it was. You can also require students to do like a prerequisite where let's see here, I've forgotten. I believe you can maybe I'm wrong. I thought maybe you could assign these. You can, let's open this up. Let's hit edit. And you can edit these from modules. You can do it by time, due dates. You can have it available on a certain day. You can do that. I must be mistaken. I thought we could. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. All right, I'm gonna hit save. I'm gonna go back to my modules. So then you can set that up like that. Trying to review my notes, I'm sorry. You can go back to your settings, your module settings, by clicking on the three dots. If you decide later to add a prerequisite or requirement, you can do that. You can assign it to certain groups of students. I usually keep it at everyone. But if you have a class where you have different levels of students or students that are trying to achieve different things, you can assign it to, you can separate those out. Which that's stuff we can go over in future videos. All right. Okay. Anything that's not published, students will not see. And if you want to test this, there is a student preview, and it'll show up in purple, and you can see what the students see. So if you're getting confused on everything, you're kind of wondering what can they actually see, hit the student preview, and this is what they actually see. So they won't see all the other things that you have in there unless you turn them on. So here I can leave the student view. I find that extremely helpful, especially if I'm trying to set up a class, and I always make that modules mistake where I don't turn on the module. So as far as tips for organizing modules, use clear and consistent naming So if you start your modules off in weeks, continue weeks. If you started off in subjects, continue subjects. If you start with module 1, go to module 2, module 3, keep it all the same. Include a variety of content types. We can add videos, readings, quizzes. These are things that I will be hitting on later in later future videos. Use text headers to break up content within modules for better readability. Use those indents. Use the indents. It helps the flow of the assignments for students to recognize, especially if it's like a unit. If you have like maybe 2 units in a module, you might have your unit on the first assignment, and then you have future assignments in that unit, maybe indent them. So that will help out quite a bit. And then keep modules simple and straightforward. Avoid overwhelming students too much with content in a single module. Try not to make multiple assignments in an assignment. Break them up. Try not to do too much information in one module. Remember, you want to try to break it down. I like to break it down by weeks. Weeks is a good way to do it. If you focus on units, you could do units, but if it lasts more than a week or 2, you might want to break it up into separate modules. Regularly update and review modules and keep the course content current. Always check your website links. That gets me a lot. I'll check a website link before I turn on an assignment. And then a lot of times I'll grab a student's Chromebook and I'll have them check the link, because their accessibility to the web is not the same as your accessibility to the web. So make sure you're checking that stuff, checking your assignments. Make sure you're checking on their links. So, okay. I'm sorry, I'm reviewing my notes still. Yeah, I think that'll do that. I plan on focusing on assignments next, and I might add quizzes to that. So assignments and quizzes. I would encourage you to play around with that a little bit, like the quizzes especially. Play around with that if you want to give quizzes. It's something that it's really nice to have a bank of questions that you can create a quiz with. It's a really useful tool for assessing where your students are. You can get a really quick, really fast readout of where they're at with quizzes. And yeah, we'll go from there. Nice to see you. Nice to talk to you guys. And look forward to the next video. Thank you. Bye.